Welcome to Movie Monday. We got Mike Story. We got Big Ray. Today is shocking movie deaths. Story, when I brought up this topic to you, you were very excited. You could barely even hold in. You love this topic.
I do love this topic. I love talking movies, and this gives us the opportunity to kind of spread our wings a little bit. I love football. A bit of a dead season right now. We do have the combine next week, so tune back the week after. Rob and I are going to be breaking everything down for that. But for this, let's just have a little fun. This is the American Sign Language for movies. Let's get into some movies.
I didn't know that. Ray, you sent me your list, so you guys both sent me your list so I can have graphics made. So you don't know each other's list. I know everyone's list. You had 15 names on this. So was it super hard for you to narrow it down to 5 with an honorable mention?
No, I mean, yes and no. I was just for myself, to be perfectly honest, just sort of like make a big list of just things that I knew, movies I watched over the years that like did shock me. Coming down to the 5, yeah. I mean, admittedly, there's definitely there's probably about like 10. There's for sure like a guaranteed like 3 to 4 in there for me, but like that 5th could probably be interchanged. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I love this topic because, especially, I'm glad we didn't include TV because TV is its own thing.
Yeah,
I mean, there's literally unlimited. Like, I mean, it's even more because there's just that many more television shows, longer, this and that, more characters, etc. So yeah, I mean, it was hard for me, but it was an enjoyable, hard, thing to do. So I'm glad that we're doing this.
Story, what is your like criteria? Because is it like most, the title's most shocking movie deaths? Is it most impactful for you personally? Did you kind of like mix impactful and shocking? And I know what my criteria is. I'm wondering what yours is.
So I actually kind of took a bit of a different approach on this because with 3 people, I figured there would be some overlap. So I kind of went a little deeper into the movie repertoire and found some stuff that I think are very impactful from both a pop culture and a cinematic history standpoint, but also some stuff that might not be at the top of everybody's list. I'm not going to ruin anything. I think we're all thinking of one very contemporary one, a Scorsese flick, et cetera, et cetera. But I went a little deeper, some really great under-the-radar type movies that also have, I think there has to be an emotional component to it as well, right? And so that doesn't necessarily mean to be sad. It could be fear. It could be something along those lines. So there's a lot of things that go into it.
I have a funny little tidbit here. There's one actor that has been killed by a predator, an alien, and a Terminator. Do you guys know who this is off the top of your head? One of my favorites of all time.
A predator, an alien, and a Terminator.
Trifecta, dude.
The Terminator one should be the one that we should be able to hone in on, right?
Right. That's what I'm trying to think, man.
It's not that notable, but like in the Terminator, like pantheon.
Not Terminator 2, the original, right? Yeah.
Give us the movie.
Give any of them.
Give it
Terminator 1. It's the very first scene of Terminator 1. The original Terminator. I'm gonna give it to you because we can sit here for a minute. It's Bill Paxton, the late great Bill
Paxton. Rest in peace.
Yeah, he's one of the punks.
Holy
he's
shit,
one of
right.
the punks that Arnold takes one of the guys like clothes, and then he gets killed. He's in Aliens. He gets killed, and then he is in Predator 2. Right? He's like the newsman in Predator 2.
Oh, okay, that's where it is.
That's a great call.
Yeah.
So shout out to Bill Paxton for getting killed by a predator, an alien, and a Terminator, which is an epic.
And survived tornadoes.
Well, yeah. None of those are necessarily like shocking though, right? Like
no. I thought it was just an interesting.
That is an interesting
way to go.
Sure.
And we all know Sean Bean's history with just getting killed in like every movie ever. Although he's not up there. I searched like all-time movie deaths, and he's not up there. I think it was just more like percentage-wise. If Sean Bean was in a movie, he was most likely
on IMDb's.
He's usually playing
top 100.
He's got like 20, I think. But like you think he's like the most. He just isn't in that many movies. He just always dies.
Well, I'm sorry. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah, it also his deaths are very meaningful within the context of the relative media.
Game of Thrones, exactly. I mean, nobody saw that coming. I didn't read the books that first season though. For like when he got killed, you just figured he was so integral with that story, and boom, gone. So that that shock factor. That again, that's television, but
Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah, I'm saying even Boromir though. It's like his character was he was only in it for such a short amount of time. But when you look into his character, like if he would have lived, he would have like been probably sparring with Aragorn as top dog per se. So,
hey.
Before we get to the shocking list, I got something better. I did the opposite of shocking. I did most satisfying, right? This is this personally. I want to get your guys' reaction. It's most satisfying, most deserving movie deaths of all time. Story, you're gonna love this list. Now, on the very top, you'll notice I have Jenny from Forrest Gump. Maybe that doesn't quite fit the criteria, but I know all of us watching Forrest Gump were very, very happy when Jenny made the announcement that she had either HIV or hepatitis, whatever the hell it was. Burn in hell, Jenny, you stupid bitch.
Yeah, Rob, you and I are on the same page on that. She is one of the biggest movie villains of all time, and people don't want to admit that, but she is.
Yeah. What do you think about that story with the Jenny thing? Is that justified? Or
yeah,
no?
I think you guys are ridiculous with your Jenny. Hey, she was a woman trying to find herself in the 60s and the 70s. It's tough to feel
took advantage of a special needs guy
age towards an individual. I like your list. The only ones that I would take umbrage with are Jenny and then Dennis Nedry. I think the real villain, and if you go to the books, the Jurassic Park book, it's Hammond himself who's the villain. You got two IT guys for a massive theme park like that. Now, whose fault is that?
No, and you're
right. Dennis was also weird. Those are the two. The first and the last one are maybe misplaced, but I feel like the manner that Dennis Nedry dies, that Newman dies, is very satisfying. You know what I'm saying? It's like very iconic, and it's just like kind of just pathetic that he's a fat guy and he can't get into the fucking Jeep.
That Tavington one, man, that one's the tits. I love that.
But Story, I will say that you are right though with Hammond being the villain. I mean, I know it took. I think it was the second movie of the Jurassic World trilogy, Fallen Kingdom, where he or his partner, who was, oh god, he was the warden in Longest Yard. I know he's been in a ton of things. That's the thing I can think of off the top of my head.
Oh, you're thinking James Sandler?
Yes, so I'm saying he was
the character's name, right? The actor.
Yeah, the actor's name. Yes. In Fallen Kingdom, he was Hammond's, partner in the whole entire thing, and he used that technology to clone his daughter. So, in so facto, that was Hammond's like long-term plan, which in reality, like cloning humans, you're just elongating life and not letting just natural selection, nature, run its course. That's just playing God. So that is a fucked up thing for sure.
Maybe this will help tip the scales there for old story about Jenny, because this is spot on. Ray, I know you love this.
Hi, Forrest. I know you just got back from Vietnam and you love me, but I'm gonna go run a train with this group of Black Panthers I just met.
Okay, Jenny.
Hi, Forrest. I know you came all this way to New York to visit me, but I'm gonna go do blow and have sex with a bunch of stockbrokers.
Okay, Jenny.
Hi, Forrest. Now that I have the most contagious and incurable disease known to mankind, I'll finally have pity sex with you.
Okay, Jenny. And I'll mow the grass and raise the AIDS, baby.
I mean, Seth MacFarlane did pretty much lay it out as Hey, look, I'm sorry, Story. That's the most simplistic thing. I understand it's easy to disagree with, but that is funny that he even saw it for himself to make that.
Jake agrees with me. Jenny is a good one, low key, good sleeper when it comes to movie deaths. It's a sleeper, right? It's like it's like RB40. Getting RB40. Javante Williams was a good sleeper this year. Jenny's a good sleeper.
Mm-hmm.
A couple more things on this list. I think Ward Norton, if you want to say Jenny was a joke, even though it wasn't a joke in my end, Ward Norton might be the most satisfying just based on all the things that happened in that movie and the fact he blows his brains out. Like, it's just very, very fitting, right?
Again, I'd take umbrage with that one as well because of what he put the prisoners through. That's not necessarily satisfying. You want to see that guy go to prison and get a taste of his own medicine. That would be like what Captain Hadley got, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we wanted to see with Norton. And you go down a little bit on the list, Commodus, Tavington, like you want those guys gone, dead. They're terrible. You want them out. But Ward Norton, just because of the extent to which he
decades worth of shit
physically abused the prisoners, you want him to get a kind of a taste of that.
I guess you could say the same thing about Cypher. Like, his death is meaningful. It's important. Like, you want him dead, but it's not quite that, because what he does to Switch, like he's like toying with her and like toying with everyone's emotions, that he just gets killed by that blaster thing, whatever that is. But again, the guy we were rooting for to die for sure. And then Brad Wesley is a dark horse in this one. I love
that one.
Just because he is such an asshole in Roadhouse and just a little prick. There's that scene where he's having breakfast and he's such a pompous asshole in that scene, just in the entire movie. They definitely got some small man syndrome there with Brad Wesley.
Hell, JC Petty is coming here because of me.
Would you guys say just in general, the most satisfying death in TV or movie history. And then maybe you guys didn't watch it as much as that, but Game of Thrones with King Joffrey. That kid, because that dude quit acting because he was such a great asshole at acting and cynical.
I haven't seen any Game of Thrones.
No, that's fair. So
That's
story
the
basically
little guy?
Not the little guy. He was the blonde dude that was married to Sansa.
The little kid.
The little kid who he.
Yeah.
So story basically, he is like his father got killed. He came into power at like 14, 13 years old, but he was the biggest piece of shit asshole. Like, I mean, worse than Joaquin Phoenix in The Gladiator. I mean, he was just such a pompous, like evil, cynical, horrible person. And he gets poisoned in his wedding, and he chokes out in front of his parents. And it's like the things he did. I understand, like that's why you didn't see it, so it's hard to. You just look up Purple Wedding and on YouTube, and you'll see his death, and it's just I'm saying like the way they do it and how horrible he was, but that's TV. So with these movies, though, I mean, that's a good call, Rob. Those are some very, very satisfying deaths for sure.
It's
Especially
about Brad Wesley is it's not just Patrick Swayze's character, R.I.P. Patrick Swayze, not just his character that gets in on it. It's the townspeople that Wesley had been taking advantage of for all these years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then it just ends with like the cops are like, "Well, something happened, whatever," and they bang in the pond. It's just a hilarious ending to a hilarious.
It's sort of
movie.
like the same with Calvin
time.
Candy though, because like I mean, I know it's a little different clearly because the townspeople in that movie like actively like were in on it, not in on it, but like happy about it. All the slaves like rejoice Django for taking out Calvin Candy, and then especially at the end when they fucking just murder the whole fucking plantation family. You know what I mean? Like all the slaves probably had the same type of happiness and wanting to get engaged, but they just knew that they're slaves compared to free people.
I have one more take on Shawshank that we didn't actually touch on. We did a Shawshank pod. I was reading about this. There's a lot of speculation that he actually did murder his wife. Andy Dufresne actually did murder his wife. Story, have you read into any of this? Because he never really denies it. Even in the first court scene, he doesn't really deny it. He denies the gun. Like he denies like he doesn't deny, like flat out deny it. And like he jokes towards the end he's the only innocent man in Shawshank. But they all said that. And like knowing his character, how calculated he was, and just the whole digging the hole and just everything he went, all the things that breadcrumbs leading up to his escape. Would it surprise you if he did murder his wife? Because he's one of these guys that figures he's smarter than the system, right? And like he did actually get sentenced to it, but he got out of jail. So I mean, would it surprise you? Because there's been a lot of good. Like look at OJ, man. OJ murdered his wife. He was a good guy.
I mean, so why would that guy then confess to the murder years later in a different prison?
That would be the loophole because that guy was crazy. That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, sorry, that's the big loophole. But I'm with Rob. This theory would suggest that guy's just a pathological liar and just makes up shit to seem that he's more of a fucking evil, crazy person to every new person who comes into his cell with him, especially a young gun like that kid was. I can't remember his character's name, but
yeah, it's like he heard about the story. How serial killers take credit for other people's murders because they're already in jail. Exactly. In this case, he's just like, I'm cooler because he's Elmo Blash is batshit crazy, and he's like, I'm gonna just say I did this other murder. Maybe my cellmate will like me more or something.
Interesting. I'll have to look at it.
The only thing I can agree with that theory, Rob, and I'm with you on it to a point, is that he is so fucking smart. So it's like, why, like for the entirety of the movie, for like except the murder, which I'm saying he didn't do it, the whole movie shows he was innocent of. He is able to outsmart everybody and get the fuck out. He was in there in his 20s and got out by his 50s, 20s, or 40s.
22 years. Yeah.
So in his 40s. So like, dude, that's not that like for like apparently what he did, and then get to go to Mexico and live the rest of his life on the beach. I mean, I'm not gonna say I would say I would do 20 years and have to break out to get that life, but at the same time,
and he met his bromance. Right? In Samuel L. In Morgan Freeman. They're
so real quick to end with this. They had two endings. The director, I believe, wanted the ending to be Morgan Freeman on the bus looking out the window. That was supposed to be the ending of the movie, what the director wanted. Apparently, after screenings and test audiences, they wanted a little more. They wanted a conclusion with the two, with Red and Andy. So that's when they added in that last scene of him walking on the beach and them embracing each other and then just, panning out. Would you two have preferred the way the movie was, or just it ending with how the director wanted?
You like Zihuatanejo story?
I like saying it, Zihuatanejo. But I think I like the original ending better. Give it some ambiguity. How far did Andy actually get?
It's sort of like Inception, just like leaving them saying is leaving that like what if, like what actually happened. I'm with you. I mean, especially because that movie was there's so many emotions throughout the entire movie. You had some great, top highs with them drinking the beer on, doing the tar. And then obviously him being in the hole and people dying throughout the movie. I'm with you. I think that would have just at least given that with all the horribleness that went through it, just gave the watcher their own idea of what may have happened. Did he actually make it? Was Andy actually there? That's up to you to interpret.
Yeah, did he get eaten by a shark?
Right. Literally.
Gloria, I'll cast you down with the sodomites. You'll think you've been fucked by a train. All right, let's get to our honorable mentions before we get to the list. Story, what is your honorable mention for shocking movie deaths?
Yeah, so you want the two kind of like quote unquote honorable mentions or the actual honorable mention?
Whatever you got.
All right. Well, so I gave you two non-human ones. So it was Daisy the Beagle in John Wick, which was shocking and devastating, and I love dogs, so that pulls at the heartstrings quite a bit. I don't know that we need to revisit it, but that one really, really shocking, but probably necessary because it sets him on the path to revenge as John Wick. And then Baxter the Border Terrier in Anchorman, pretty funny, played by Peanut the dog. But my honorable mention for movies or for people, have you guys seen Executive Decision with Kurt
long
Russell,
time ago?
Steven Seagal, Halle Berry. Okay, great movie, action flick, classic '90s action flick. Lieutenant Colonel Austin Travis, who's played by Steven Seagal. He was a big name at the time, obviously a huge action star. He was top billing in this movie, front and center in the poster. And then 35 minutes into the movie, on the way to board the plane, he's got to close it off. And then the F-117 they're in, he goes down, he's out, he's dead. It's Kurt Russell's movie from there on after. So your action star is out of the action movie. That was a super shocking death. And it happened so fast. The things start shimmying. He's like, we're not going to make it. Seagal's like, you are, bam, bam. And he's gone. It's done.
It's interesting. That reminds me a lot of the new reboot of Godzilla. The first Godzilla of the new trilogy they've been making with Bryan Cranston. He was in the trilogy, in the trailer, in the posters, all that shit. And he died, I think, like you just said, within 30 to 40 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. I think it was a big mistake. So I think in Executive Decision, it was the right decision. No pun intended. But I think it was a mistake in the Godzilla movie.
Big time.
The way that they handled it. Like, They should have really dialed in on Bryan Cranston and the motivation behind him instead of, what's his name? Jai Courtney fluffing around Hawaii for an hour and a half.
No, 100%. That was, especially because Bryan Cranston, as we all well know, is such a, phenomenal actor and big name. Especially that was not too far off of Breaking Bad being done. It was a little bit, but like that Breaking Bad aura was still around. They would have just made him the main guy. And just ran with that. Probably would have been better off.
He was tied in with Ken Watanabe, and he was tied in with Mama.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And Jai Courtney is just this dude.
Right.
Like I said,
You're right.
Kind of cycling through Hawaii. It was just, I think they made a bad decision there.
That was a great, upon what you just said with the rest of the things. Like throughout the whole series, they mention. It's like, okay, just have them there. They didn't want to pay him the money.
Ray, I know you have a lot. Just give us your top honorable mention, and we can get to some of the ones later after the list.
So since you said you guys didn't have it in there, I will just say Joe Pesci and Goodfellas because I understand like when you're watching the movie, the guy was fucking around and he was going to find out. It was just, I guess, when was he going to find out? And especially because a lot of the things that they did in that movie, making money, doing heists, all this and that. And then he's going to get made because they understood, between Henry and Jimmy that they were not going to be able to be made because they weren't true Italians, from both sides of the both sides of their family. And Joe Pesci's character was their way in to be able to be themselves, aka be made without being made. The call comes in. Yeah, he's gone. Like just the whole. I mean, it is one of the most iconic scenes of all time. Them walking in, like, oh, hugs, this and that. Then he opens the door, sees nobody, empty fucking room. Ah, boom.
Wasn't the plastic on the ground too? Like,
oh, I'm sorry.
where,
I apologize.
like
the plastic.
Too.
That was
I think that's
that
one
was
thing that got his.
No, yes.
He knows that to fucking kill people, and he's like, "Well, I'm dead." And boom,
that's a great one.
All right, I got two.
You forgot about the Billy Bats thing, right? It had been so long in the movie, you forgot about the Billy Bats thing.
And that's why he died. You're right, because they said they were freaking out, like, dude, he's a made fucking man. What are you doing? Well, like you said, Story, it may have taken an extra third, even maybe another half of the movie to get to that point, but his time came.
Story, go get your fucking shine box. I'm casting you down with the sodomites. I'm telling you, it's a shine box. Billy Bats was a bitch. Let's be honest. That dude was a bitch, man.
Such a fucking
shit talking. Like,
great actor.
Oh, man.
Great actor.
He is a great actor, but that's right. I mean, he played that character fucking awesome. In general, I've seen him.
All right, I got two. The first one's kind of a joke, but it's actually like spot on. Zoolander, Rufus, Brent, and Meekus in the gas station explosion where they're playing with the gasoline, like showering each other in the gasoline, and then one of the dudes lights a cigarette and they fucking die. Very shocking because it doesn't fit the mold of that movie at all. And just all of a sudden, 3 male models are dead because they're playing in gasoline, which is just hilarious. The real one for me, this is I didn't have it on my list because it's not a lot of people are going to know this movie. Pay It Forward, the old Kevin Spacey and Haley Joel Osment flick. Trevor, so Haley Joel Osment dies at the very end, gets shanked. And by the way, this is going to be a very spoiler-laden show, those of you guys tuning in now. So unfortunately for you guys, hopefully you've seen all these movies, but that one was at the very end.
Listen, majority of these movies have been out for at least 10 years, if not longer, if not up to 50 years. So it's like, if you haven't watched it by now, that's your own fault.
Have you guys seen Pay It Forward? It's a weird movie.
I know exactly what it is. I have not seen it though.
I highly recommend it. I know you're gonna know the ending, but it's a very good drama. It's a feel-good movie. There's kind of a dark ending, but it's one of those things where the ending is so negative, but it's actually so positive at the same time. So it's like one of those where you actually leave the movie feeling good, just about the general tone of the movie. Believe it or not, because his movement worked. You're gonna have to watch the movie.
No, I know.
Again, Spacey is a piece of shit. Spacey's an all-time actor. I love Kevin Spacey and everything he's in. And then that was Haley Joel Osment's fucking wheelhouse, man. He had, I don't know what happened to him. He got really fat. He looks like kind of like he should have been a hobbit.
Mac.
Honestly,
he's hilarious in Entourage.
Yeah, he's good in he's in the Ted Bundy movie.
Rob,
he's good in everything.
You know how pathetic I am? I seriously thought to my core when I first saw Always Sunny in Philadelphia trailer come out for the series back in the day, I could have sworn to myself. I told myself, like, that's Haley Joel Osment, Mac. My dad.
The Fat Mac season. Yeah.
No. I said the trailer for the original.
So
I just thought he lost
if
the
Haley
weight.
Joel Osment didn't gain all that weight, yeah.
Right. I just thought, and then it was like, holy shit, it's not. And then Fat Mac came along. I was like, wow, they actually he could pass up. He's a different face, but nonetheless, was that after Sixth Sense? I assume like 2003 or 2 or something like that.
Yeah, definitely after. He was like probably 12 in that movie.
Okay.
Should they shake it?
Yeah, let's take a little look. Let's take a little look at Mac and see if we see the comparison.
Good. Tell me everything.
Okay, they were both here. They were both inside me. Eduardo was in my mouth and Luther was in my butt.
Oh my God, no, don't tell me everything. What? No, what? Damn it, Bonnie. Eduardo who?
Sanchez.
Holy shit, tell us more.
Then Luther went in Eduardo's butt for a while.
Tell us less.
Then they both completed on each other. I was left out of the finale.
I think Osment has a more scrunched face of a Mac. But like I'm saying, I know there's weird. I don't know. There was when I saw Mac like originally, there was something about it. And I convinced myself, I'm like, that's him. And I looked up the actors, like, oh, I guess not at all. But
I don't know if Haley Joel has the comedy chops to pull off Mac in the writing chops. All right, let's get to the list, boys. I'm excited to reveal these lists to you guys, to everyone. You don't know the list, only I do. Let's go with our number 5 here. Got to shout out Blake for these awesome graphics. Super elite. The media manager Blake on the channel does good work for us. So number 5,
great work.
I have Tracy Mills, Gwyneth Paltrow from 7. Ray has Samuel L. Jackson from Deep Blue Sea. His name's Russell Franklin. And then Story has Jack Vince. Is it Vincent?
Vincennes. Jack Vincennes.
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 LA Confidential. That's Kevin Spacey. We were just talking about Kevin Spacey. Story, give me your spiel on Kevin Spacey dying in LA Confidential and why it's the most shocking or the fifth most shocking movie death for you.
Yeah. Have you guys seen LA Confidential?
Can't say I have, unfortunately.
Bits and pieces, but I dove into it when I saw it on your list.
You got to watch it. First of all, the novella on which it's based is excellent. The movie is one of those few movies that lives up to the book. You know how most books are better than movies, even though books are for nerds, as we know, right? As movie buffs, we know that books are for nerds. Okay. Anyway, so Kevin Spacey plays Jack Vincennes in this movie. He's like a media detective. Like he's all about like getting the press and looking good for the press, et cetera, et cetera. He gets pulled into this conspiracy. And then again, spoilers for all these movies, but he ends up talking to the captain of the precinct, who is James Cromwell. And out of nowhere, they're just chatting, boom, 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 and then bam, 2 shots to the chest, and he's dying. And it's that fast. You had no idea. I mean, you had inklings that Cromwell might have been involved, but you had no idea that he was that deep into it and that he was willing to murder with such disregard. That whole movie is excellent. The way that Russell Crowe and what's his name? The guy who plays Exley. What is his name? Guy Pearce. The way they end up like coming together afterwards, due in small part because of that. The way that that Jack was kind of on a bit of a redemption, that Spacey's character, because of who he was at the beginning, and then getting pulled into this, he started to see that there was more to it, etc. It's just completely out of left field by a character that you had no idea was that deep into it. That's why it's fifth most shocking for me.
What happened to Guy Pearce, real quick? Because obviously, Memento, he's great in. I feel like he just disappeared off the face of the earth, and I like him. I think he's really good looking. He's got a lot of charisma. I think he's a good actor, and like there's just nothing. There is just no Guy Pearce anywhere. And what the hell happened to him?
I was
protected by somebody. Like he could be like a poor man's Brad Pitt.
The last movie that I saw, he's been doing 2 to 4 movies per year, but the last movie that I saw him in that he starred in was Alien Covenant. That's when he played that, like when he was in the old man makeup. He played Wayland, Peter Wayland, in the old man makeup. So not a good look right there. And then prior to that, I didn't see him in a movie. I didn't see a movie of his Iron Man 3 in 2013, where he played Killian. Where he played Aldrich Killian. So yeah, like I guess he's choosing projects that are not exactly mainstream for the most part. But yeah, I think he's a good actor.
Maybe he fucked up. All right, Ray, get to your number 5 here. Samuel L., also one of these guys that died in a lot of movies. Deep Blue Sea, pretty epic death here.
Yeah, I mean, again, Deep Blue Sea is not a great movie by any means of actual like film. It's fun. I enjoy watching it. If it's on, I'll watch it. You know what I mean? It's one of those type of movies. It's like what do we call it? Like a bad luxury, if you will.
Guilty pleasure.
That's
sure.
where I think that's what I was looking for. Yeah, it's a guilty pleasure, but nonetheless, with the death at the point in the movie, these super intelligent sharks, the great whites, have started basically destroying their whole station in the middle of the ocean and flooding it. And at that, there was already some deaths at this point, and they're all freaking out. And Samuel L. Jackson is standing because where they would bring the sharks in from the tank to study them, he was standing right near. He's even like a foot or two. He was like 10 feet off of this fucking on the platform, away from this big ass hole, and he's sitting there giving this epic speech of how we need to get out there and we're gonna have to stay together. And just boom, the shark comes out of fucking nowhere and just eats the living, like bites him right, not in half, but just gets him right in the middle of his body, and just like angrily shakes him around, drags him down, and just at that point,
terrible CGI, but it's awesome. It's a great.
It is some bad CGI, dude.
CGI, but it was just because again everything was going downhill, and with that speech, like again. Shitty movie, but you were just sort of like, yeah, all right, like we're gonna gain our confidence here, and all of a sudden, he's just fucking gone in a blink of an eye. And he was the leader, you know what I mean? Like at that point, the shit's in the fan. He's the leader. He's giving this speech. Boom, gone. And yeah, I mean, dude, that whole movie, dude, LL Cool J with his fucking parrot and shit. Fucking
Dude, LL had a run there. Halloween
Yeah, he
2-0, Deep Blue Sea. He was in quite a bit of movies. I will say about the Samuel L. Jackson death, that's a very long speech he gives.
Yes,
it is unnecessarily
very
long.
No, that's
After
what I'm
it's
saying.
like 90 seconds, it's like, okay, he's gonna get eaten. And then he
No,
just gets
that's
eaten.
fair. But I'm saying, like that whole speech, you're just like, yeah.
So
And then-
the way I look, like, all right, so 30 seconds in, I'm like, this is too long. He's gonna get eaten. 60 seconds in, I'm like, no way, this is too long. They're not gonna kill this guy that's hyping him up now. And then 90 seconds, bam, done.
Dakota's in here. He says, like, I have not seen half of
been on
these movies.
purpose.
Do I live under a rock? Does he live under a rock?
I just said,
like, which ones have you not? I mean, I could see maybe not having heard of Deep Blue Sea or LA Confidential, but you've heard of Seven, right? At least
Seven,
if you've seen
sure,
this channel, you've
Nice segue to my number 5, Gwyneth Paltrow. And this one, if you really pay attention to the movie upon first viewing it, you'll probably miss it. But they give some breadcrumbs. Obviously, we don't know what his last murder is going to be. And then there's a scene in the hallway where he's Kevin Spacey. Spoiler is John Doe. He's the bad guy, and he's taking pictures. And like Morgan Freeman tells Brad Pitt, he's like, "Yeah, the cops can be bought. You know, you can get information on all of us, whatever." So like that is like the only like inclination that this could happen. But the reason I have it on number 5 is because it is probably one of the most shocking endings of all time. And the reason the ending is so shocking is because Gwyneth Paltrow's fucking head's in a box. And beautifully how they do it, they don't really show the head in the box, which is actually better, right? It's telling us, not showing us. And
right, that would be
yeah.
that would be
in this example, that's a good way to do it.
Right.
Yeah, a latex head would have broken the immersion there. No argument. It's a shocking one. That's one of those ones that I've seen this movie so many times. I can't even remember the emotions that I felt or how I felt when I first saw it for the very first time. I don't remember what it's like because I've seen this movie so many times.
And there's that scene where she calls Somerset, Morgan Freeman's character, to have like breakfast with her because he doesn't know anyone. But it seems it just like doesn't fit with the movie and it's unnecessary. But it is necessary when you look at the whole scope of the movie and what happens at the end, right? It's just like, why is there a 5-minute scene with Gwyneth Paltrow talking to this guy she met once? And like, why are they kind of making Gwyneth Paltrow's character more than what she probably should be? It's because she's the whole ending of the movie. And just David Fincher, fucking love David Fincher, man. He knows how to make a movie.
Great director.
All right, let's get on to the number 4s, boys. Here we go. Story has Drew Barrymore from Scream, Casey Becker on the movie poster, mind you. Ray has Mufasa from Lion King. That one probably hit you hard as a kid. I had Captain Miller, which is Tom Hanks. Anytime Tom Hanks dies in a movie, it's shocking. But Saving Private Ryan, number 4 for me. So I'm going to start with you, Ray, with Mufasa. Is it mostly because you were so young when you saw it, or just because it's a kid's movie, you don't expect death? Like, what was it about this that made it most shocking for you?
Oh no, it was 1,000,000% the first thing you said because I'm definitely younger than you guys. I mean, not much younger than you, Rob. Sorry, a little. Well, you're a little older than me, but not that much older to the point to where like when this movie came out, Story. I don't know how
you're
old
younger
you
than
were.
26.
No, I thank God. No, but nonetheless, yeah, thank you. But nonetheless, no, it's just one of those things that I was born in 91. This movie came in 94, so I'm not exactly sure if I saw it. Like I know I didn't see it in theaters. Not exactly sure if I saw it like when it came out on VHS right away, but if it wasn't right away, it was within like a couple of years. Like it may have been right away, to be honest. So all I know is when I watched it for the first time, and I remember this, dude, it was so fucking God, dude, it was so horrifying. Just the whole thing in the beginning of the movie, everything's going along. Scar's there, but his name's Scar, and he's got a scar, so they have the bad undertones and yeah, like the way he does that, like he being Scar kills Mufasa and the whole speech and the way he does it. And then with Simba watching it, like, to be honest, when you're watching it that young of a kid, you're literally thinking that's your, like, maybe it's not your uncle killing your dad, but nonetheless, somebody like openly just killing your dad in front of you. And watching you, everything from the very beginning to the very end of like the whole sequence, being a kid watching that, especially like being a guy, being a little boy, father figures like much more impactful. I'm not going to say that when little girls watch it, they weren't also horrified, but just saying in general, Simba, me, whatever. yeah, that I would say that's what it was, man. It was just the absolute shocking craziness of the stampede, because they did a great job of animating that, man. Like, it was just chaos, so much fucking chaos. And then Scar's speech and the little tick, 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 boom. It was, and then him falling. You know what I mean? Like, it could have been one thing if Scar like let him off and you didn't see him falling. You saw him falling, and you're just like, it's just that one extra scene in your head that you're just like, gosh damn, dude. Like, fuck.
Yeah, it's similar to Chef's death in South Park. It just falls down the fucking cliff. Have you guys played the Lion King video game for Sega Genesis?
Big time.
Epic game, and that was one of the hardest levels, was the stampede. Yeah. And what I always remember, what hit me the most, is obviously I'd seen the movie, but they always kind of showed the death scene before the stampede. So as a kid playing the game, I gotta keep on watching Mufasa die over and over and over.
That was a hard game.
That's where they start
super hard. What a
great
great game.
At Mufasa dying, and then they make you run the gauntlet. That's hilarious. Disney loves a dead parent, right? They love killing off parents in their animated movies, right? Quasimodo's mom, the parents from Frozen, Mother Gothel, Bambi's mom, Tarzan, you name it.
Finding Nemo.
Yeah, they love killing off parents.
Real quick before we jump off of the Disney thing, you guys know about Finding Nemo? So in the theatrical, first off, you guys seen the movie? Yeah. Finding Nemo?
Yeah.
Okay. So in the theatrical opening of it, because I'm assuming you guys didn't go see it in theaters since you guys were in high school when it came out. But in the theatrical movie, they show the barracuda eating the eggs. Like, all they in the movie was like, the barracuda going in, and then Nemo's little egg and his dad going in and finding Nemo. But in the movie, like, in the opening, they showed this barracuda literally eating these fucking things. And kids were so fucking horrified, they had to change the shit. It's not on DVD, at Disney Plus, anything. Like, they took that shit out of there because kids were so fucking horrified, dude. But anyways.
Have you guys ever, how they do the like Disney and like cartoon, like the porn parodies of like all the movies, like Beauty and the Beast and shit? Have you ever seen the Finding Nemo one?
No.
It's just a bunch of fish fucking. It's fucking awesome, dude.
So like Sausage Party, but fish?
Fish don't actually have relations.
They rub.
That's why it's so epic, man.
Most female species will lay eggs, and the males will inseminate over them.
There you go. Yeah. They
Story knows an odd amount about
sperm on it.
Fish fucking.
Did you know ducks have corkscrew-shaped penises? Called cloaca.
No. Yeah, I did know. Unfortunately, I did know that story. So, Rob, thank you for letting Rob know that. But
that's made my day. Okay, my number 4 is Tom Hanks, Captain Miller, Saving Private Ryan, and there's a lot of reasons for this. Like I mentioned earlier, anytime Tom Hanks dies, an actor of that caliber, the main character. Now I know what happens at the end, but I think the reason it's the most shocking for me is when you're watching the movie. If you watch the very beginning, right, it shows the old man at the grave, right, at the memorial, and then it goes from his face right into Tom Hanks's face. We don't even see Matt Damon for an hour and 35 minutes of the movie, whatever it is, and you just go to assume that is Tom Hanks. And if you actually do the math, it's like this probably isn't Tom Hanks because the age difference. But like we're not thinking that in depth. We're thrown into battle. So like we're not trying to do math about how old Tom Hanks would have been, in 1998 or whatever it is. But like that alone is like a perfect trick of cinema of like we're going, the main character is alive, he gets out, he's reminiscing about all these times. Also, they trick you because Matt Damon's not in any of these scenes, so it's like it's shown through his eyes, right? The story through Tom Hanks's eyes. Pretty much the whole movie is through Tom Hanks's eyes. And that alone makes it, when he dies, and like he dies when they've won, right? The bridge is blown. They successfully save Matt Damon, and then like they don't really show Tom Hanks getting hit. Like they show him get hit, but it doesn't seem like a mortal wound. And then he gone, and then I don't like the quote of "earn this." I'm not a big fan of that quote. Yeah, kind of cheesy, but like that's my one gripe with the movie. That shows how great that fucking film is. But I just think Tom Hanks dying in general, but just the manner it happens, the time it happens, and then beginning, just the trick of the film there, man. And no one knew it was coming.
One thing, dude, have you guys seen the video? I think it was within the last couple of years, maybe we'll say 3 years. there was 100-something-year-old World War II veteran pilot. I believe he was an American. His family like flew him out to not Iwo Jima, or it was D-Day, Normandy, and it was basically like his family was taking a phone video of it. It was almost an exact like shot per shot of Matt Damon's character finding Tom Hanks's grave, because he found his he was a pilot. This guy was a pilot, and he was shot down, but his his co-pilot died, and he found his co-pilot's grave like 80 years later, dude. Like freaking insane.
Wow. You sure this wasn't AI? There's a lot of AI around.
No, definitely wasn't.
All right, let's move on to our number 3.
That's a good call, Story. That's a good call.
Number 3, we have story with Julian from Children of Men. That's Julianne Moore. And then Ray has Chad Feldheimer, which is Brad Pitt. This really hurts me because I'm the biggest Brad Pitt fan in the world. Burn After Reading. And then I had Dr. Malcolm Crowe. That is Bruce Willis, who's probably going to die soon, which sucks, and I'm going to be sad about that. In The Sixth Sense.
Very, very sad, man.
Ray, I'm going to start with you on this one. My guy, Brad Pitt, dying, Burn After Reading. Very, very sudden, and pretty tense scene there in the closet.
Yeah, so, I mean, like, the whole thing, the whole movie, happens, and, with this ending scene, it's him trying to get blackmail on God damn no, who's the guy who kills him?
I don't know the actor's name.
Yeah, but nonetheless,
he's in his house.
Yeah, he's hiding in his closet because he's gonna take pictures of him to blackmail this guy, and the guy, like, Brad Pitt, starts freaking out because it's showing him inside this closet, and this other guy that he's trying to do blackmail on is walking up on him. And he opens up the closet, and Brad Pitt just sort of like sits there and smiles. And the guy did not expect, because this dude is so fucking paranoid at this point, because the whole movie, he's so paranoid. And he just, he didn't necessarily like hate Brad Pitt throughout the movie. You know what I mean? Like, it was just sort of they didn't necessarily like, you know what I mean? Like, they necessarily weren't for each other. That's why he was going to blackmail this guy. But like, that's why it was the suddenness and him really probably not wanting to kill him was the whole shocking factor. But the suddenness was because literally, like, it shows Brad Pitt freaking out because he didn't think this guy's gonna come to the fucking closet, and he opens up the closet, sees Brad Pitt, he just sort of smiles, and just boom, right in the middle of his forehead, right between the eyes, just fucking dead. Like, it happened so fast because, like, I mean, you can look up on you. I mean, you can look this up on YouTube. Just Burn After Reading Brad Pitt death, and it's literally a 40-second, maybe a minute clip of like Brad Pitt setting himself up in the closet to the guy walking in to walk into the closet to Brad Pitt dying. It's just all very, very sudden. That's why that is a very shocking death, no doubt.
Shocked the fuck. Did you see that story? Have you seen that movie?
I haven't seen the movie, no.
It's worth it.
It's very, very shocking. It's very sudden. All right, Story. Your number 3, sorry, is Children of Men.
Okay, so real quick on my number 4 was Casey Becker from Scream. We didn't really touch on it.
Oh, shit, I missed you. My bad. I'm going to go back.
I'll just do it real quick. Yeah.
No,
you don't have to go real quick.
Yeah, take your time, dude.
So this one was mainly because Drew Barrymore was a huge star, obviously a child star, leading lady, really great films in the early 90s, Poison Ivy, et cetera, et cetera. So she was interested in this movie, approached the producers. They immediately signed her as Sidney Prescott. But there's 2 stories. One is she got cold feet. The other is that she had other commitments. They're kind of going with the commitments one. But I think it's basically she got cold feet, but she still wanted to be part of it. So she came in and did this final girl, early death thing. So basically, huge star, front and center on all the marketing, and then bam, 10 minutes in the movie, gone, dead in a gruesome fashion. So this is a brand new horror franchise that told you it's not afraid to kill off anybody. Nobody is safe in this. And obviously this has been a very successful franchise. Scream 7 is coming out later this month.
That's crazy. And her performance, for one, unreal. That first opening scene, for me, if it's not top 5 in movie history, it's definitely top 5 in horror movie history. Iconic, the popcorn. And you mentioned the gruesome nature of death. Like, on the phone or parents listening to it, and then the image of her just hung up in the tree, which I still don't understand how they had time to hang her up in the tree, because Drew Barrymore is not exactly the most petite actress in the world. Not saying she's fat, okay? She's not fat. She probably weighs $150 though, okay? And Stu Macher, yeah, Stu and then who's the other killer?
Keith Ulrich. I can't remember his name.
Yeah. But they're not exactly like muscle bound.
Billy something or other. Billy.
To your point though, they ain't built like to be whipping around.
Yeah. So how do they get her up in this tree? I don't get that. They're not Michael Myers. But anyway, I digress.
Anyway,
epic. I wanted that on my list. Honestly,
that was on my list too. Sorry,
I saw you had it. So
that was high on my list. I mean, my 15 that was up in my.
Yeah, it comes early in the movie, so you don't know what to expect from the rest of the movie, and it's not shy about killing off characters.
And to your point, a very early, like a brand new franchise. To your point, willing to just risk it, honestly, risk the biscuit and take that leap of faith, and it worked out for him because here we are, 7th movie coming out in 2026.
So the really weird thing about Halloween, well, it's they try to copy Halloween, but about Scream is they really dive into the rules of Halloween and rules of horror movies, right? And there are a lot of rules. And one of the main rules is we assume this is the main character, right? The biggest name. You don't kill them off at all, but definitely not in the first scene. So it was one of those where they're breaking new ground, and horror was dead. Let's be honest. In '99, horror was dead. It was you were onto the fifth. The 5th Halloween. You were on the 9th Friday the 13th. You were on the 6th Nightmare on Elm Street. Those are bad movies. The Hood
was not too far behind that time.
There was nothing original coming out, and then Scream comes along, and essentially it's a parody in a way of these horror movies. But it just broke new ground, man. I'm a big fan of all the Scream movies. Maybe not so much the recent couple, but
you guys
tuned out.
Was a little weird, but they've been playing 2, 3, and 4 on the movie channels recently, and 2 and 3 really have some really good parts in them.
And Rob's favorite is 4.
Is that the one that's got Niece in it?
Scream 4, right? Didn't you say that's your favorite?
Halloween 4 is my favorite Halloween. My favorite Scream is still the original. I do like Scream 2. I do like Scream 2 with the stab.
Did you guys like the original Saw movie?
Original Saw is epic.
Yeah, it's good. I'm not like that whole franchise has gone way off the rails.
No. I like the first 2. I thought were really good. The second with Donnie Wahlberg and like that one, I thought that was pretty good too. But that first one, I was in particular because again, we're talking about like original horrors. And after, like, Rob, to your point, that's why I brought up Saw, because that was, to your point, like, after the dead period. And, like, they definitely helped, resurrect that, and Jeepers Creepers as well. Phenomenal movie.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Kevin says, Kevin Costner, Mr. Brooks, should they make a sequel with the daughter? I don't really know what that means.
Isn't there a movie with...
I don't know what that means.
Kevin Costner and Saving Mr. Brooks or something like that?
That must be it,
or something like that. I just looked at
Mr. Brooks, 07, thriller crime.
I've never heard of this movie. I don't know what it is. Got Demi Moore and Dane Cook and Dane Cook, gross, and William Hurt.
Well, on Rotten Tomatoes, the people, the fans give it 76, and the critics give it 56. So I would say it's probably worth the watch if the fans give it 76.
Bit of a bust at the box office. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I don't know the movie. I have to check it out.
I like Kevin
Jake
Costner,
says Patrick O'Houlihan in Dodgeball. That one's
dude. That's a great call, man.
Crazy one,
dude. They won. It's all happiness. They show the luck of the Irish. Boom.
All right, Story. We are on to your number 3. What do you have to say about this one?
Oh, this is an absolutely outstanding movie. Children of Men. Have you guys seen it?
No, but if you're telling me it's good, I'm gonna have to watch it.
Highly recommend it. Basically,
I have watched parts of it.
Okay, so the premise is worldwide infertility. It's set in the near future, 2027. Worldwide infertility has thrown the world into chaos. The UK is in a totalitarian state. Clive Owen plays a kind of like a guy, like a bureaucrat who's kind of over it. Anyway, Julianne Moore, she's the leading female in this, and things are starting to look up a little bit. I'm not going to delve too much into the plot, but basically, she's an old flame. They start to rekindle their romance a little bit. You're in the car. You're starting to feel a little hopeful with them. And then, bam, shot to the head. Dead. She's in the passenger seat. And the next thing you know, it's in one of the most epic single takes in movie history. It takes you into the car with them. The music, the way it's shot, the acting, the cinematography, everything. I've never really felt more immersed in a movie in a take. So that whole thing, it just hits you emotionally, and you're like, this, oh my God, 40 minutes into the movie, they just killed off Julianne Moore, and now they're going to go the rest of the movie without her, and they just let you know nobody is safe in this movie. It is a bleak, desolate future. It's a great scene in a great movie.
Why didn't she duck when she was getting chased? Story.
They were not being chased at the time. That's the thing. It came out of nowhere. It came from the front. They're not being chased. They have no idea that the danger is in front of them. So you're just driving along the country road. Everything's good, and then out of nowhere, and then they got to back up, and yeah. So he had no. It's one of those ones that that did not know it was coming.
All right, my number 3 is JFK on that parade route in Dallas. Didn't know it was coming. I'm kidding. That's a real-life assassination. That was also very shocking, by the way, at least for most. I don't want to dive too much into the JFK conspiracy because we can talk about that for hours. Number 3 for me, Bruce Willis, Dr. Malcolm Crowe in The Sixth Sense. And this is kind of a weird one because he dies the first scene, but you don't know he's dead. So everyone says it's the greatest twist in movie history, right? Or at least was at the time. And if that's the case, then this has to be one of the most shocking movie deaths of all time because the twist is he is dead and he's in the movie the whole time. So like, I think it's kind of like I'm kind of cheating a little bit based on the criteria, but like you guys see where I'm going with this one because
that was on my list, dude. Like that was
very shocking,
utterly crazy. Like to your point, dude. You thought it was him the whole, like he was real, and then not real, but like alive. No, the reason he's seeing you is you're fucking dead, man. That was shocking as hell. I mean, people talked about that forever after that movie came out.
Yeah, still talking about today. Story, what's your take on that?
I love the old school M. Night Shyamalan stuff, and there's some new stuff that is kind of kitschy and fun, like Trap. I think is okay, but yeah, one of the most shocking twists in movie history. I'm not sure. I mean, you could argue if you want to be pedantic that it doesn't count because you don't actually see the death on screen, but I think for the purposes of this exercise, it's certainly worthy of a number 3 spot.
Don't nitpick my fucking call, Tori, you son of a bitch.
I mean, I give her. I mean,
I'll cast you down by the sodomites.
I get where he's saying, but I mean, it's a story like I had that. I sent Rob my list of 15. I had it on there, but I mean, I get it where you're coming from. Story, it does make sense where you're saying like it's one of those.
Jay
things.
mentions did anyone mention burn after reading? We just did it. We'll have a little book burning party.
Yeah, they'll see the flames from
miles away.
We just did it
as number
3.
Number 3. Oh yeah, we just did it. It's right there. Boom. We just missed it. You can rewind a little bit for Ray's talk. That was very shocking. All right, so we move on to number 2, guys. I can't wait to show you guys my number 1. But I think my next 2. And by the way, at the end of the show, I want everyone to vote on who had the best list. I'm very positive I'm going to win. If not, I'm going to just delete this fucking from the internet. So. Story, your number 2 is Rosie Betzer. That is JoJo.
That's an amazing
Rabbit.
call, Story. I completely forgot about that. Great call.
Big Ray with Howard Ratner, which is our boy Adam Sandler, Uncut Gems. I have Neil Perry in Dead Poet Society. Story, I'm going to let you kick this one off with Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah, this one was an emotional gut punch. You think Jojo Rabbit is kind of fun, quirky, it's a take on World War II. Everything's kind of, they're having fun. It's Taika Waititi, and when that guy's on, he could write. Now, when he's kind of up his own ass, or he's got his head up his own ass, you get Thor: Love and Thunder. But in this case, like a really well-written movie, really well acted. Scarlett Johansson plays this loving mom to JoJo, and midway through the movie, you find out she's part of the resistance against the German occupation. They come for her. A character lies, so she's not there. And the next thing you know, you see JoJo walking along in the city square, and you see her shoes. You don't even see Scarlett Johansson. You see the shoes, and her shoes were a point of focus on a previous scene where she was dancing along the river with her son, and it's just devastating. Because now he's completely alone. She was his only guardian, his only family. And now this kid that was being raised as part of the German machine, who loved his mother, is devastated. And the way he goes to tie her shoe, it's just emotional gut punch. It's absolutely devastating. it informs the rest of the movie. There's some great messaging in this movie. I highly recommend you watch it. It's just really, really sad. It ends on a hopeful message, though.
First off, Rob, have you seen this movie?
I did not. I've not seen this. I did watch the scene and then some of the stuff before that just to have some knowledge.
Yeah, no. Well, so Taika Waititi, he plays Jojo, who is Scarlett Johansson's son's imaginary version of what he would want Hitler to be, because he's a young Nazi, so he wants to, make Hitler happy and impress him. So Taika Waititi plays this, he is Hitler in his imagination, and it's such a fun, exactly what the story is saying. It's such a fun thing to where, like, I know it's fucked up to say, like, during, he's a little Nazi and whatever, but nonetheless, but if you watch the movie, you get the point. It's like Taika Waititi is, Johnny there, he's being there to encourage him to be a strong Nazi, because he's such a tiny little kid. He's a runt, runt of the litter, if you will. And Scarlett Johansson through the whole movie, that when she's alive, is such a great mother. She's always happy. It's not always happy, but like always trying to be encouraging and all this and that. And more importantly, what I'm getting at, this story he didn't necessarily say, but what made it even harder, her death. First off, exactly when he walked in and saw the shoes, I cried. Like I did, not like bawling, but I teared up. That was fucked up. And then when Sam Rockwell, who is a Nazi general, or a sergeant, whatever the hell I can't remember what he is, colonel, whatever the fuck he was, he knew Scarlett Johansson's character in that movie, knew she was a spy, knew she was because this is when the Allies took over and they were rounding up all the Nazis, and because in the movie basically Scarlett Johansson is fostering a Jewish girl. She forgot the date the girl was born, and Sam Rockwell is looking at the passport and knows she's lying and just gives it back to her. And so after Scarlett Johansson dies and he's gonna die, he is basically saying, your mother was a good person, go be with your sister. He rips off his German uniform and spits on him or pushes him away and calls him a Jew to make him stay alive. And he does. He ends up being with the Jewish girl that Scarlett Johansson harbored. And I'm sorry to go on, but that really was a strong movie. That's a very new movie. That's like maybe like 2022.
16, I think.
Or 6,000. Jeez, that is a long time. But nonetheless, it was a very strong movie story. Thank you for reminding me, because that was I cried when that happened. That was, especially for him, man. That was fucked up.
Real tears. That's Bandit says Green Mile. My wife actually mentioned that. She's like, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I knew he was gonna die the whole time. Dakota says I saw who framed
other
Roger
deaths
Rabbit.
in that movie were unexpected. Like when the dude got fried because the asshole didn't put the water on the sponge. That was fucked up. That was a shocking bad. That was, I'm saying that.
Dakota, who in Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Are you talking about like the shoe that got?
No, he's just saying he saw it. He's just saying he saw it because he hasn't seen a lot of these movies.
I mean, that was kind of shocking when he kills the poor shoe.
And then Jake says Jack and Titanic, that damn board was too big and big enough for both of them. That's true. And real quick, I want to go back to my other list, because this one, she didn't die. She deserved to die, because Rose is up there with me with Jenny. Jenny's number one on this list for me because I fucking hate Jenny. Rose, a stupid, spoiled bitch.
So let me give you, Rob, something. I literally just saw this today. This is fucked up. I saw this today or yesterday. It's within the last 2 days. A video on Instagram, and it was explaining why Rose is even more of a villain than you think. At the very end of the movie, when she's old and she drops that fucking necklace into the ocean, that was worth millions and millions of dollars. If you look at no, just real quick. If you like it, I mean, none of us can remember this movie like the back of our hand, like many other movies we've watched. But nonetheless, if you go back and look at it, Rose herself is not like the way she dresses and what she's doing is like she doesn't have that much money, and then people who are taking care of her, they aren't like looking lavish, well off, and then she just dropped off millions of dollars that her great grandchildren could have still been living on right into the ocean.
Other good ventures, like I'm not charitable, but like you could donate to charities and they can steal your money there.
Just to the ocean, to Jack.
The number one thing about Rose is that when they show her on her bedside, She has all these selfies of herself, and none of her family or her husband or anything.
There you go. Fucking sociopath,
it's just her.
bro.
It's like her with like a horse, her climbing a mountain. Like, who the fuck has selfies in their bedside? It's fucking weird.
How can you be a sociopath when you survive a fucking shipwreckage like that? Like,
well, that old lady was just a liar, huh? And a bit of a tramp, if you ask me.
Definitely a tramp. All right, my number 2, guys. This one should have been my number 1, but my number 1 was a little bit more impactful for me. Neil from Dead Poet Society. Have you guys seen the film?
No.
Ray
I know you've been telling me to watch it.
Dead Poet Society?
You've been telling me to watch it for years.
Story.
I got around.
Holy hell. You of all
wasn't
people.
it like part of the curriculum? I watched it in high school. They made us watch it in high school. Like, Story's too old. They actually didn't have TVs back then, so you couldn't watch it in high school. I'm just saying.
We had the TV that they would wheel in on the cart with the VCR.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways,
Anyways, I can't believe that because we had to watch it in high school. I'm glad.
that is
it's one of the few films I've been forced to watch in high school that actually resonated with me, and I've continued to love. I also love Robin Williams, but the cast, Ethan Hawke, the cast of this movie, that Sean William Leonard is his name, who actually didn't go on to do a lot of good stuff, but I can't.
Oh, dude, what are you talking about? He was in House. He was in House for 7 years. What are you talking about? Robert Sean Leonard didn't do anything impactful. Are you out of your mind?
I'm comparing it to Ethan Hawke's career. Ethan Hawke had a much better career, and I'm telling you,
you can't say that Dr. Wilson wasn't an impactful character. I will not stand idly by it. Let you besmirch House.
In movies, at least. Ray, would you agree he steals the show?
You said Robert Sean Leonard?
Yeah.
Well, I'm with Story, dude. Like,
House,
you clearly didn't watch House. He is House's counterpart in that whole entire fucking show.
He's his foil.
You guys are missing the point. How did Ethan Hawke have a fucking
I'm with you. No, Rob, on that point, I'm 100% with you because this guy was never that he had House. Ethan Hawke has had more, which is one thing, just one movie, Training Day. Already better than, I hate to say it, Story, better than
Purge
8 years of House.
or the Purge. Like, again, I love Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke, if you watch his interview on Rogan,
Sinister, talking about horror movies, my God. You guys seen Sinister?
Yeah, it's a good movie. Both of them are good.
I'm saying, Story, that was on my list. He was one of my honorable mentions, him dying in that movie, bro. That was fucked up.
Anyways, back to the death of Neil in Dead Poet Society.
Sorry.
The charisma that he has, the part he has, just the character he plays in this movie, and just the tone of the movie, right? It's a drama. It's a coming of age film. Obviously, it's a Robin Williams movie, so it's got some darker themes like throughout, but you don't ever see this coming. Spoiler alert: Neil wants to be an actor, and his dad is like doesn't have the money the other kids have in this boarding school, so he's got to have this strict thing. He keeps on taking him off like the yearly, the yearbook. He wants to do all this stuff. His dad's like, no, you're gonna study. You get straight A's, but his dad played by Red from that '70s show, all time. But
Crestwood,
shit, dad.
Something Crestwood.
Kirkwood Smith.
Kirkwood Smith. My God, yeah,
love that guy.
Kirkwood.
I love to hate him,
right.
I say, but the fact that like he chooses to kill himself in the manner he does, it's so sudden, it's so shocking. The way that the movie, another great thing about this movie is they shot it in sequence, right? So like they took him off the set after this, so like the kids actually felt the fucking death, like it was shot in sequential order. So like when he dies, his last scene on film, and then like when he does it,
and he's gone. He's not just hanging around like
again. So then there's another 30 minutes in the movie, all the kids reacting, and like they literally felt like they lost their brother because these guys were living. The kids were living together for the 3 months.
Captain, my captain.
Probably, Captain, my captain. Probably one of the most, for me, shocking and out of left field deaths. That actually it hits, dude. It fucking hits, and this movie is all time story. You gotta watch it this week. You gotta watch it this week. Even with knowing what happens, you gotta watch it this week.
Put it on the list.
Let's get to a couple comments here before we get to our number ones.
You forgot Ray. You forgot Ray. Number 2.
Oh, I forgot Ray. I keep forgetting. I'm not doing very good today, so my bad. Uncut Gems. Uncut Gems. I wanted this on my list as well. All right, Ray. Adam Sandler. Awesome performance by Adam Sandler in this movie.
So I mean. Adam Sandler's had some, drama movies, Funny People, Punch Drunk Love. I'm sure there's a couple other movies I can't think of off the top of my head right now. But at least those two movies for sure. Yeah, there you go. Oh god, that fucking
You can't
movie.
even keep a straight face.
No, right, that fucking movie, dude, is so fucking hilariously that he made that. But nonetheless, with this movie, I mean, I really hope that I think he made this movie just to really prove a point, like his acting chops, because there's literally nothing that funny about this movie. Like some little, like, just like quick things he might say, quick comments and whatnot might be a little funny. But in general, it's a very serious stone cold like thriller, not necessarily a total thriller, but it has a very dark underlying like theme to it. And the whole movie itself is, it's fun. Like it's when I say fun, it's a dark fun movie. Like because Adam Sandler, his acting in it is very good. Like he's not himself like anything other you've ever seen him in before. So take that out of your mind when you're like, oh, Adam Sandler. Just fucking watch the movie and then tell me afterwards. And nonetheless, with the ending, so if you haven't seen it, everybody, basically he's a gambler. He has he owns a pawn shop or not a pawn shop, like a jewelry store, and he basically has a rare gem that Kevin Garnett wants, and the whole sequence happens throughout the whole movie. Basically, he's getting fucked. He's a big bettor. He's a huge. You think Rob's a gambler? This dude's next fucking level is he's got the fucking sharks
this is
coming.
crackhead shit. Like,
that's what I mean. No, I'm joking when I say that, Rob. This guy's literally. This is like Phil
movie, right? So many chances. He chooses to never take the chances to get out, right. And he actually he wins. He fucking wins.
Does. So basically, he puts like a 20-something leg parlay on Kevin Garnett to do all these fucking things. Maybe it's less. Doesn't matter. He's gonna he owes the mob all this money. He'll win all his money back, and at the he locks these dudes who he owes the money in this like it's basically like he has an entrance where you have to like be let in and let out. So he puts them in and locks them in there, and they make him watch the entire Celtics game with Kevin Garnett and him just like fuck yeah, let's go, blah, 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 like just antagonizing them, going all crazy, blah 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 blah. So when they win, and he wins, and he knows he has the money to pay them back, but because he antagonized. Sorry, they antagonized so much that when he gets let out, the one dude he was really pissing off, he just says, "Hey man, whatever." Something along those lines. It's all good now. Blah blah blah. Dude just pulls a gun right out of his pocket. Boom! Right in the middle of his fucking forehead. He's gone. And he had a girlfriend who was in Vegas who had the ticket, and now he's dead. I mean, she'll end up being okay, but like, yeah, it was shocking, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you thought he won, and they'd be like. But hey, that proves that when you're in with money shark loan people, mob, big criminals like that, they're not going to fuck around.
And that's how it ends. There's nothing after. It's like 10 seconds, and then it's it.
Rob, that ending is like when Always Sunny talking about we're on a turtle in space.
Yeah, real weird.
Like how it like
real weird.
Away. Not a turtle, but just like going into space and the music. That was a crazy ending, man. Fucking love it.
Jay says Will Smith's dog and I Am Legend. I have that.
I was fucking pissed. And very upset.
Like if people think John Wick's dog's death is bad, like this one, like that one is like you'll understand it because those are fuckers he's dealing with. Like this is a post-apocalyptic world, and God, that dog was a great dog and
loyal to the fucking death, bro.
It was him having to kill the dog, right? And it was dead anyway. Essentially, it was going to turn into one of them night walkers.
It's like Old Yeller on Next Level. You know what I mean? Like post-apocalyptic. At least Old Yeller days, there were people still around.
Jake says, "Don't bring up dogs dying. Though story might cry."
We're with you, Jake.
Kids, I don't know. Kids dying. It is what it is. Dogs, I don't like it. I don't like it.
With your story,
I'm not shitting you. My wife is, I guess, because we're so used to people dying in movies and TV. Like she doesn't care if 20 people get killed in the movie, but if a dog dies, it's like her night's ruined. It's not real.
Have you guys seen Marley and Me?
Just shows the effects. No, I don't want to watch it because it's too sad.
No, have you guys seen? Have you seen Fear?
Yes.
The scene where fortunately, the model head of the dog that he puts through the doggy door is so bad that one doesn't really register.
No, but If you guys haven't seen Marley and Me, man the fuck up.
No.
No,
we
you
love
are like,
that.
no, I will.
Or you better watch Dead Poets for Marley and Me. Jay says Wilson in Castaway. I don't know that Wilson dies. Is the only thing. Like, it's super sad, but he doesn't die. He's not alive. Like,
well, I mean,
yeah,
he is
he
alive
floats.
in his
He
brain.
floats.
Hey, it's an illusion, bro. It's alive in his head.
He was fine. He's just gonna float on the ocean.
In his head, he's delusional at that point. It's his fucking best friend. Okay, if your best friend in a delusion fucking floated away, you would want to kill yourself too.
Didn't you say Helen Hunt is a villain in this movie because she like turns around in like 3 months and remarries or whatever?
Bitch.
No, Helen Hunt was cheating on Tom Hanks the entire time.
That's what it was.
That's documented. There she is, by the way. Say hello to Helen Hunt. Hi, Helen. How you doing? You look lovely today. You look lavishing today. All right, let's get to the number ones, guys. Drum roll. Number ones. We're gonna go through after this and revisit our list. I want everyone here to vote on who had the best list. And here we go. Number one, boys. All right, we have. I love stories. I love all these are epic.
Rob,
Story
great
has
call.
Charlie
From
Hereditary.
G-Baby, bro.
Ray has Leo, William Costner Jr. from The Departed. I have G-Baby from Hardball. If no one thinks Keanu Reeves can act, go watch yourself some Hardball because he's doing some real
and get ready to
acting,
cry,
especially in the end of that movie.
Get ready to cry.
Story, lead us off with Charlie because that was one of my honorary mentions. So.
Yeah, this one is it's guttural. That's the best way that I can describe it. So the other ones that I have on the list, it's tough to put yourself into a World War II resistance or 1950s. And the other ones, Scream is such a fantastical universe, et cetera, et cetera. This is a real family in a real suburb, and you can see yourself here. And basically, you're going along. You know it's a horror movie. Ari Aster has this incredible way of just pulling you in and then putting on screen the most macabre, tragic stuff you could possibly imagine. Racing home to try to save his sister, and the next thing you know, it's in a blink of an eye. Her head is ripped off on the side of the highway, and you're in the movie with them. You're in a haze. He's in a haze. You're in a haze. You have no idea what just happened, and you know something bad happened. You know something's coming, and you see the son character. He goes into his bed because something to him. He doesn't know how to react to this, and when Toni Collette screams when she finds Charlie's body, it just hits you in a primal level. It is so disturbing. So, like I said, guttural. It hits you like all the way down your gut. And you don't know how to respond to that. The rest of the movie is really, really good. But that scene in particular is so disturbingly real. It's a gut punch. It's absolutely devastating. And that's why, for me, it's the most shocking death in movie history.
It was peanuts, right? She had a peanut allergy. That's
why she allergy. They were at a party. She ate brownies that had nuts in it or something along those lines. And so he, as the older brother, obviously there's some family issues there, but he's trying to get her home. And he gets distracted and swerves a car into a telephone pole. And then
was she gonna live
on the screen,
allergy, or was she gonna die?
She was. Well, I mean, it was anaphylaxis, so eventually she would have succumbed. But a epinephrine shot, get her to a hospital, get her home to get an EpiPen, whatever. But they go from Toni Collette's that scream just resonates in my brain to cutting to the head a day later where it's half decomposed. It's just horrifying imagery. Ari Aster, great director.
And the sound of the head hitting the pole.
Yeah,
it's a legit sound, man. It's a sound. You know when someone hits a great dinger when you're live in the ballpark and you just know it's gone the second that head hits the pole, the head's off. Maybe that's a bad comparison, but Ray, you got something to say about Hereditary? Do you like the movie?
I haven't seen it, unfortunately. So.
It's a dark one.
Sorry,
it's a dark one.
Real quick, dude. I do not give a fuck about anything being spoiled to me. Did you watch Breaking Bad Story?
No. That's another one that Rob's been harping on me about.
Okay, well, you know what? This won't spoil anything to you because what I'm going to tell you right now doesn't fucking matter. But Rob, the first episode of Breaking Bad I ever watched, I went over to my buddy Mitch Nemec's place and we were going to smoke. And he's just like, hey, we're going to watch this on a Sunday. He said, we're going to watch Breaking Bad and you haven't seen it. Just letting you know. I'm like, whatever. I don't give a fuck. It was the Fly episode. That was the first episode I ever saw. And Story, this Fly episode I'm talking about, I just found this out, Rob. I think it's season 3-ish. I think it was season 3.
Yeah.
They overdid their budget in that season. So Vince Gallagher purposely wrote and made this episode of The Fly where basically, sorry, the whole episode is a fly gets into their meth lab for the contamination. So they basically, Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul spend the whole episode trying to get the fucking fly out of there. And it's just their acting and interacting with themselves that was really good. And for literally nothing happening in it, I still watch. I went back, watched the whole series up until for that, to get ready for the next season or next episode.
It's only a good episode if you know what you're watching. Like if you have a backstory and like meaning of the conversation.
Yeah, I didn't.
If you had never watched it, it's voted by most people as the worst episode in general, even Breaking Bad fans. So like to not seen the show, it's absolutely awful. I have a question for you.
That's how good. I'm saying that's how good the acting was. Is that I thought it was good enough to go back, watch every episode prior that was available, to watch the new episode the following week.
Story, would you rather see Helen Hunt pictures or a dog dying in a movie? That's a tough one, man.
That's tough. But since he didn't qualify recent Helen Hunt pictures, I'm going to say that if they can mix in some 90s, early 90s Helen Hunt pictures, then we're all good. Okay, there we go. There
you go. That's the one. All right, so let's get to our list here. Two more names. Ray, you got The Departed. I think we all wanted to have it on our list. I know Ray, Story said you didn't have it on there because you knew one of us would. I actually only had it as an honorable mention. And it is very shocking. Ray, you love this film, and the ending of this movie is batshit crazy.
So I will just automatically say I have the most shocking death compared to you two, to a point of there's much more emotion into both of your guys' deaths. Admittedly, what you explained, that's way more impactfully emotional, and G Baby's death is way more emotionally impactfully shocking. Both of them are compared to what Leo's was, but Leo's I feel is just in general what we're saying the most shocking because the ending's happening. Martin Sheen dies, who was his guy, and he got fucking Damon, so like he's gonna turn him in. Like at that point, when they're going down the elevator, you're thinking to yourself, okay, like Leo's gonna get his name back, he'll get his life back, and it'll just work itself out, happy ending. But Martin Scorsese doesn't work that way, so I should have known better when I was watching it for the first time, but I wasn't. And like when he had that whole interaction that like with when Matt Damon just says, literally, he said, just fucking kill me. And he just says, fuck you, I ain't doing that. Like, you're going to get your justice, asshole. And, well, Leo would have had his justice for him if he would have killed him in the elevator because he was going to be shot dead right when it opened. And that, literally, like the whole thing, because I think Matt Damon says, just fucking kill me. He's like, he's like, no. And then, like, within seconds of that, opens, boom, Leo's brains are fucking splattered. And then fucking Matt Damon killing that guy who was with him. He literally said, he's like, I'm with you. Like, and no, that's.
Yeah, you gotta destroy the evidence, though. You know what I mean?
Of course. Oh, no. Like, no. He did the right thing. It's just crazy. Like, again, just
the right thing.
The shock factor.
No witnesses.
That is the right thing if you're a fucking criminal. Honestly, but like, luckily we're not fucking killers. I couldn't do that, but Jesus. So I'm just saying, like, that.
Speak for yourself, Ray. Speak for yourself.
All right. Well,
I'm kidding. All right. My number one, G Baby from Hardball. It's the death itself isn't the most shocking. I think it's the aftermath that makes this the most powerful for me. It's one of those that you don't really see it coming. I know there's a lot of the violence there in Cabrini Green there in Chicago, but just the type of movie it is, and the last game they play, the funeral especially, the speech from Keanu Reeves, like. G Baby dying it's really hard not to cry as an adult, as a male, as a human being watching this movie. And it's kind of a joke. Like, this is kind of a bad movie. I personally like it. It's definitely a guilty pleasure movie.
Who says it's bad? Like, who of you actually says shitty, critics? You met somebody.
No, I'm just saying, if you were to go on Rotten Tomatoes, I bet it doesn't have a very
good, critics. I don't give a shit.
Well, people are dumb.
Yeah. But I'm saying, I've never met a person who says bad.
It's because the ending, though. The reason the movie is good is because of the ending, because it makes the whole movie, and it's just Keanu Reeves' character arc in this movie is just unreal, and I just love the acting. This is a great role for him. Just a nice movie, I guess what I say, with this really, really traumatic ending where G Baby gets shot. He, all he wanted to do is play, and he gets one chance to play, and then of course after that dies. And fuck guns, fuck gun violence, fuck gangs, fuck that shit.
Well, and especially too, I mean, Rob, speaking for myself, since it took place in Chicago, I know we never lived there. I'm just saying, like, it took place in what we knew has a bunch of horrible violence down there. So I'm saying, like, when we were growing up when this movie came out, like, just for seeing a movie really speaking to the realism of what goes on, in reality in Chicago. You know what I mean? Like, Chicago, there's many, I'm not saying to say all of Chicago, there's a misconception that all of Chicago is fucked. Like, I've been to Chicago hundreds of times and nothing's, except me being extremely wasted and a black dude fucking just, I don't know if I ever told you guys this. I was wasted as hell. No, literally, Rob, it was the Simpsons episode when Homer and Bart are fucking carnies, and they're like, look for the pigeon. That's exactly what happened, dude. Some black dude just saw me because I was waiting for Lutz and all them to come out of the bar, and I was the only one who, like, anybody who knew me, I was by myself. And some dude came up to me and said, "Hey man, my girl left me behind. I need to make a phone call. Like, you cool with me?" And I was like, I was wasted. I was like, "Sure, dude." Like, boom, out of my hand, fucking halfway down the block before I could even blink.
Was it an iPhone?
No, it was an Android, which is better than an iPhone. If you haven't heard of that.
I was hoping it was back in the day where it was like a flip phone that wasn't worth dick.
Oh no. It had
a BlackBerry or something.
It was like 2013. Yeah.
So I have not seen this movie.
Really?
Yeah. In fact, I didn't even really know it existed. I probably ran across it, but I didn't know it existed. Like, before.
There's the age. I'm sorry. There is the age difference, bro. Because
yeah. So this movie
on.
underperformed at the box office,
100%,
majorly, but it was released 3 days after 9/11. So that hurt.
That's the last thing we need. We need 9/11, then G Baby dying in the theater. Like, you don't want to see that shit.
Dude, Chicagoland people were fucking devastated. Then double time, bro. Like a Chicago movie, fucking.
I have to check it out. I do like 90s. Well, in this case, 2001 Keanu Reeves. So the replacements is
got a really good. It's got a really good gambling angle because Keanu Reeves is not to the level that Adam Sandler is in Uncut Gems, but he's a degenerate and he's trying to chase. He owes us money. He owes money all over town. So what he does is he needs money. He needs to pay back people. So his like lawyer friend like has to, probably because of some court order, has to like coach this inner city baseball team. And so he like passes off, almost like Big Daddy, how he tries to be Peter Garrity or whatever. He has to pass off, and he's coaching the team to make money.
I just read the Wikipedia summary, so
it's a much darker Bad News Bears. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Well, no, when I say much darker, there's just because the death and like the actual reality of things, to where Bad News Bears was just like there's a lot of the fun in that, because when Keanu Reeves meets the team, they're a bunch of just like nobodies and just can't play baseball, and then he grows to care about them and teach them. That's the different, that's the similarity of it. The darkness of the deaths and the reality of things is much more real and hard hitting than Bad News Bears.
Jake's bringing up Bruce Willis from Armageddon. I think that's more of a sad death opposed to shocking.
I don't know that I would consider that shocking. That there was quite a lead up to that. At some point, like halfway through the asteroid, you knew that Bruce Willis was going to bite it just because of the way that he was being set up.
More importantly,
they weren't going to send Ben Affleck down there. No.
More importantly, when that's exactly what I was going to go with. Story when they drew the straws, and then Ben Affleck had the fucking shortest one. You knew right then and there. It's like, well, Bruce isn't going to go down there, probably pull some sort of switcheroo, and he did.
American components, Russian components, all made in Taiwan.
They all made in Taiwan.
Yeah, let's not underrate the teeth. Okay, let's not underrate how much money Ben Affleck got work on his teeth. That cost a lot of money. They weren't going to blow him up with those pearly whites, dude. Like, he finally got him. He didn't have those little baked bean teeth anymore, and they didn't want to kill him with those teeth. Can't do that.
No, I still stick with what I'm saying is that Bruce Willis was a much bigger superstar at that point. I mean, not Damon, but Affleck was still.
Yeah,
Bruce. He was mid up to his whole roller coaster of his peak.
Dude, that was mid.
Yeah, and who had Bruce Willis on their list? I had Bruce Willis on my list. Look at Dick. All right, guys, time for the vote. Time for the vote in the chat. We're gonna go through everyone's list here. and vote on who had the best list that hits the hardest to you, or just who has the best list. It's most likely me, but I guess we're going to see, huh? Here we go. We're going to go to Story's list. He has, this is LA Confidential, Kevin Spacey and LA Confidential. He has Carrie Becker.
Casey Becker.
Casey Becker, sorry, from Scream. That's Drew Barrymore. He has JoJo. No, this is Julianne Moore from Children of Men.
Mm-hmm.
You have Jojo Rabbit.
Well, not
Scarlett Johansson.
Rosie and Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah. Scarlett Johansson's character. And then your number 1 is Charlie from Hereditary. Let's go back 1 to 5. Ray has William Costigan Jr. from The Departed. He has Uncut Gems, Adam Sandler's character. Number 3, you're looking at Burn After Reading, Brad Pitt in The Closets, even though you know he's not gay. He would never be in that closet. And then you have Mufasa from Lion King, which is a really hard hitter right there. And then number 5, you have Samuel L. Jackson in Deep Blue Sea getting eaten by that fucking shark. Number 5 for me, I have Tracy Mills from Seven, Gwyneth Paltrow, Head in the fucking Box. Number 4, Saving Private Ryan, Captain Miller, which is Tom Hanks. Number 3, I have the aforementioned Bruce Willis in Sixth Sense, Dr. Malcolm Crowe. Number 2, I have Neil Perry from Dead Poet Society. Neil, my boy, Neil. Super sad. And then number 1 is G Baby. Super, super sad stuff there for G Baby. You know what? Rip G Baby. I'm pretty sure the actor survived that gunshot though, so he's still alive. It wasn't a realistic depiction of the death. So, all right, let us know in the comment section who rate them for us. Me, Story, Ray. If you haven't seen the movies, some of them is tough. What do you got, Story?
I'm just saying number 1 right here.
Oh, you're saying number 1? We should put some money on.